sometimes pays off if it's something you really want, and I really wanted that. It was a great flight. Lasted a little over 2 days. Our job was just to make sure we could get the vehicle up and get it back down safely, which is what we did. We did have some problems, and that's why you do test flights. The vehicle, especially when we lifted off, the shock coming off the solid rockets hitting the MLP actually bent a strut up in the forward RCS area. So that needed to be corrected when we got back down on the ground. On the first stage, we weren't flying the trajectory we were supposed to. We were lofting well above it. Of course, above it's better than below it. But the aerodynamics on the vehicle turned out to be different because you couldn't hardly predict them with some of the little small wind tunnels that we had. Had a few problems when we got on orbit. Some of those pesky tiles, when I opened up the payload bay doors, some of them were missing. Caused a lot of consternation on the ground, worrying about missing off the bottom. John and I didn't worry about that mainly because of anything we could do about it, but we also knew that all of the tiles that were critical on the bottom had been full tested. The ones that were back on the OMS pod that were missing had not been, because they were there for a mission turnaround as opposed to being critical. We also had the potty quick. That's not very good either, but the potty gave us a lot of problems through the initial flights. And coming back on the entry, that went very well, except the body flap, which also, during ascent, went well beyond the limits that we were anticipating. And again, that was because the aerodynamics were, we needed to get smarter about them, and that's why we put the vehicle. When we got back down, John landed the vehicle out on the lake bed at Edwards, and excited I've ever seen that man. He was jumping up and down. I had to stay in and talk to mission control and throw switches. John was out of the vehicle as soon as that hatch opened. He was bouncing around, checking it out while we were looking at the tiles. And I can remember John said that's the world's greatest all-electric flying machine. And Chris Kraft, who was the center director at Johnson Space Center, we've just gotten infinitely smarter. It was an exciting flight. We did learn some things. In retrospect, looking back, I'm very proud of the program. Flew for 30 years, had 2 terrible accidents, but we did, NASA and the contractors picked ourselves up by our bootstraps after each one and got us back flying safely. When we landed on 135, the vehicle was as clean as any we've ever had. And we could have kept flying it, but that wasn't to be. So we did some great things with the vehicle. I think you mentioned that allowed us to build the International Space Station. Things like Hubble Space Telescope, the Galileo mission he mentioned. I think we flew something like 350 different people in the shuttle. And it was a great program, and it'll be a long time, if ever, before we see a vehicle that's quite as capable. However, that was then. This is now.